Meta has just launched Llama 3. Now, you all can try it out on the Meta AI platform. However, if you are located outside of the US or UK, as some countries are not available, you can try it on Pocom as they have integrated the Llama 3 API. In these videos, we are going to take a look at this new large language model, which has variants with 8 billion, 70 billion, and one of the craziest things, they are training a model with 400 billion parameters. This is even based on the checkpoints as of April 15th. The performance is truly amazing. Now we will examine the already released 70 billion parameter model from Llama 3. Their performance is really great. As you can see here, they are taking a different approach to benchmarking by testing based on user experience and user feedback in almost every benchmark from the MMLU, AGI Evolve English, the Big Bench Hard Arc Challenge, and the Drop Benchmark. They outperform Gemini Pro 1.0 and the latest Mistral models, Mistral 8X22B. All five of these benchmarks show them surpassing these other two competitors in the market, which have similar parameter sizes and training setups and are being compared side by side. For the lightweight, the smallest size of the Llama 3 is the 8 billion parameter model, and from here, as you can see, it is surpassing Mistral 7B and Llama 7B as well. I would say that at this moment, Meta's Llama 3 is the current leading open source large language model. At the moment, we can see that the performance and research results from their training data and everything put it on par with, or sometimes even better than GPT-4. The evaluations of all these details can be found on meta.com in their current press release news. What I just mentioned about the human evaluations is that they have a new set of benchmarking by actual users or real humans who evaluate which results are better or worse from the large language models. As you can see, most of them are winning in the green color here. The last one is in the red color. Here are some comparisons with the Llama 370B instructed model compared to Claude 3 Sonnet and Llama 370B compared to Mistral Medium. The third one is 70B Llama 3 versus GPT 3.5. And the last one is Llama 3 70B compared to the older model Llama 2. Obviously, like here, Llama 3 compared to Llama 2, it is way better than the previous models. Here we saw 63% or even close to 64% of the results are better than the Llama 2 models. And here we see that even GPT-3 is 63% worse than Llama 370B. One of the mind-blowing results from the human testing is that even the Claude 3 Sonnet, which we have revealed previously and I am currently using quite a lot right now, the Llama 370B gives better results in this comparison, which is 52% and even close to 53% better than the Sonnet large language model. This is quite amazing, with larger language models and all the new AI models being trained to perform even better and better. We see companies always comparing their models to competitors. But when you see that an open source model is performing way, way better and even close to some of the leading large language models and some even like the closed source Claude 3, this is amazing. Yes, Sonnet and even OpenAI's GPT are closed source models that need to be subscribed to in order to use. But then Llama 3 as an open source model, you can run it on your local computer if you have powerful enough hardware, or you can download it, fine-tune it through Hugging Face to download the files, and you can fine-tune it or run it on a cloud server if you have one. Open source large language models right now are the trend of the whole large language model industry, and this is going to be the mainstream. Things will even get better in the current year, 2024. I think by the end of this year, there will be another model better than this. So I won't be surprised when Llama 3 is released and all the performance is better. It will eventually get even better than this. All these benchmarking results show that they are better than similar models in the market right now. But what if or when new models are released and the data is enhanced even further, and they train models that are even better. Then one day, Llama 3 will not be the leading one in the market of open source large language models. So I won't be surprised right now that this one is winning in terms of intelligence, being the most advanced large language model, etc. But yes, we will try this in these videos to see how it performs and achieves such good results as we have seen in the big announcement from Mark Zuckerberg about Meta's release of Llama 3 just yesterday. Let's check it out in these videos.
All right, big day here. We are releasing the new version of Meta AI, our assistant that you can ask any question across our apps and glasses. And our goal is to build the world's leading AI and make it available to everyone. Now, today we're upgrading Meta AI with Llama 3, our new state-of-the-art AI model that we're open sourcing. And I'm going to go deeper on Llama 3 in just a minute, but the bottom line is that we believe that Meta AI is now the most intelligent AI assistant that you can freely use. To make Meta AI even smarter, we've also integrated real-time knowledge from Google and Bing right into the answers. We're also making Meta AI much easier to use across our apps. We built it into the search box that's right at the top of WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, and Messenger. So anytime you have a question, you can just ask it right there. And we built a new website, meta.ai, for using it from the web. We're also releasing a bunch of unique creation features. Meta AI now creates animations, and it now creates high-quality images so fast that it actually generates and updates the images for you in real time as you're typing. It's pretty wild, and you can go check it out now on WhatsApp or the website. We're investing massively to build a leading AI, and open sourcing our models responsibly is an important part of our approach. The tech industry has shown over and over that open source leads to better, safer, and more secure products, faster innovation, and a healthier market. And beyond improving meta products, these models have the potential to help unlock progress in fields like science, healthcare, and more. So today, we're open sourcing the first set of our Llama 3 models at 8 billion and 70 billion parameters. They have best-in-class performance for their scale. And we've also got a lot more releases coming soon that are going to bring multimodality and bigger context windows. We're also still training a larger, dense model with more than 400 billion parameters. And to give you a sense of Llama 3's performance, this first release of the 8 billion is already nearly as powerful as the largest Llama 2 model that we released. And this version of the 70 billion model is already around 82 mmLU with leading reasoning and math benchmarks. The 400 billion parameter model is currently around 85 mmLU, but it's still training. So we expect it to be industry leading on a number of benchmarks. We're going to write a blog post with more technical details on all of this if you want to go deeper. In the meantime, enjoy Meta AI and let me know what you think.
Coming back here, I have tested some coding on Poe.com. They have integrated the Llama 370B model. Actually, the 70B model is very difficult to run on a local machine. You can try the Llama 3 8 billion parameter model for local hosting. On Hugging Face, they have already listed the Meta Llama 3 here. As you can see in the top right corner, they have the Llama 3 8 billion parameter model and the 8 billion instructed model as well. You can try those out, but the 70 billion parameter model, I believe, cannot be run on local computers using tools like LM Studio or Llama, etc. It is simply too much for a local machine to handle. So what I will try right now is the 70B parameter model that is hosted here, the 70B instructed FW model hosted by Fireworks AI, and the other one is the Llama 370BT model hosted by Anthropic. So I have both models currently running side by side to compare the differences here. I have some coding programming test questions that I typed here, and the LM370BT, which is hosted by Anthropic, shows that the JavaScript functions can be explained in a logical way point by point, what will be running on each of these arrays and variable numbers as well. Here is an example of a JSON file that is using these functions, showing how the output would be expected. As we know in the previous Llama 2 model, they were not good at programming, and Meta, in Mark Zuckerberg's interview on other YouTube videos, realized that people use Llama for asking questions about programming and coding as well. So they have also trained programming and coding languages in this new Llama 3 model. It is now able to handle programming languages and any kinds of logical questions in Llama 3. Basically, both the Llama 3 70BT and 70B instructed FW models give very similar results. But the instructed FW is showing me the JavaScript implementations of this one, writing out the full function here with a for loop, looping over again in the loop, and if conditions, it is more complete than the 370BT model's response here. I think the 70B instructed FW does better in answering programming or logical questions by giving us more complete JavaScript code snippets and showing the implementation. And of course, these models are also including explanations of each line of code, how it works, and how the arrays are passed through each for loop and the inner for loop to loop over the second array list in these groups of data. So, yes, both work, but I would prefer using the 70B instructed FW, which is hosted by Fireworks AI right now on po.com. Let's try this one. We can start a new chat using the instructed FW model of Llama 3. Here we have some predefined questions already, so we don't have to think of them ourselves. We can just click and ask them, like explain the concept of a black hole in a way a 10-year-old would understand. This is a pretty good predefined question to ask large language models. Here it feels like it's telling a story to a young kid. The way of writing throws back questions at you and lets you think before the introduction, before bringing you to the main content. The structure and presentation is improved compared to Llama 2 and other open source large language models. A more intelligent way or better presentation to help people understand the content. I haven't gone through this full response yet, but it looks well structured overall. This is a pretty nice improvement we're seeing in Llama 3 so far. We can start another one here. Of course, Python is a very popular programming language. Let's try this predefined question. Python function to reverse a string. Don't use any built-in string manipulation functions or libraries. What it does is build a function to reverse a string. By default, it is doing a for loop to go through each of the string characters and then appending it into a string variable. Right here, it shows us the result of the reversed string, the reverse of this input string. And it goes through the result. Quite nice. Of course, it works. So let's throw some programming test questions in here. I have a bit which is for switching between pencils. This one is using JavaScript. Let's try this one and see how it goes. Let's say JavaScript question. Right here, it understands that I'm asking a JavaScript programming question with this test. And it actually does the job of writing all these functions for JavaScript. Let's copy this, and it has the explanations and the expected result from here. Let's try this one and run the code, see if it works. Okay, so the whole thing has passed. All the values are returned correctly. I think we don't need to doubt Llama 3's logical and hard level capabilities. JavaScript means hard level right now, so let's try the very hard level. Let's randomly pick one like this one. Okay, we should try a very hard level JavaScript question and test it. Okay, so again, we have the functions. We can copy it. Very simple. And again, this one is really good as they have explained the expected result and how it works. Let's try this one here, paste it, and check. Okay, so there are two values here. Let's see what it's going to be. The return Boolean value should be true when there is an instance, but it got false here. So what they do in here is that this condition should be expected to be true. It should go to here, but then the expected result from the Boolean value comes as false, which is going to this line. So yes, something is not going to work, as always expected in the very hard ones and the expert ones. No large language model is still passing the expert level yet, so we can try another one at the very hard level and see if something passes. So far in my testing of most large language models, they are partially passing the very hard level here. Some questions they can fully pass, but some questions are just partially passed with a green check mark, but one or two errors in the functions. Let's try this one again. We copy this code, go down here where they have the expected result showing, and let's try this one. Let's go check. All right, so this is a very hard question, the very hard level question, and it got all passed. For some of the very hard level questions, a good large language model that scores over 85, or yeah, something like close to 80s or in the ARC challenge is over 85. Most of the very hard questions can be passed here. Sometimes it is just like the previous one, there's one or two results that fail, but mostly they can be passed on the very hard questions. So, that is what we should expect for a large language model that scores in the range of the benchmarking on the MMLU close to 80s and the ORC challenge above 85. I would say that it can be able to do the very hard coding challenges on Alibit. So that is it for this testing. So far so good, and we can try writing something else using Llama 3. Let's say I'm going for an essay and see how it goes. I'll start another new question chat here. This time I will ask for content writing. Right here I have a defined question. Write an essay at a university final research assignment level about the topic of quantum computing. Describe quantum computing in detail, explain how it works, and what the future development of quantum computing will be. Write the content with around 2,000 words. Let's try this one and see what the result looks like. Okay, so it finished generating. The result doesn't reach 2,000 words, so maybe we will have to do it the older way. Tell it to create an outline of the content first, and then on each outline point, we can prompt it to generate deeper content, that way reaching the 2,000 word count. But so far here, this is an overview of what it described, showing the current status of quantum computing and the future development. It does follow through on my text prompts for what I wanted to ask. The context length that these large language models can handle with multiple questions in one text prompt is good enough. And then it shows the response addressing each part of the context in the response text here. I think this is pretty good for the new open source large language models right now, and it even included a references, which is really good. Maybe they have trained it on data sets containing academic or research papers as well. Yes, I believe we can try using this one for content writing, programming, solving small programming problems with Llama 3 right now, and it will be very competitive among the upcoming open source large language models in the coming years as we have Llama 3 and Mistral with the Mistral 8X model that is going to be tested in the next videos. So I will see you all on that one. Bye.